Hi everyone and welcome back for another video, and happy new year as well because it is finally 2025. I'm sure you can guess, so this video is gonna be a little bit different. I haven't actually done a weekly vlog and you might hear why, like in my voice. I have been so ill since I think Monday. Yeah, it started like Monday night and then I woke up New Year's Eve and I was just taken out by the flu. Like I had the worst sore throat, cough and cold and everything like that. So I haven't really done any like weekly vlogging or anything like that because I have been stuck in my bed and I haven't left my bed. I've even had to call in sick for the first couple of days back to work because I've been so poorly. So here's to hoping 2025 gets better, because starting off the year with a cold, it wasn't on my bingo card. I didn't expect that. But yeah, so that's why I haven't done like a weekly vlog or anything like that. But I also thought the first video back will kind of just be like my 2025 kind of New Year resolutions, kind of like some goals and things I really want to try to achieve in the year and things like that. I kind of got inspiration from like creating my vision board and things, which you can see over on my Pinterest, because I really love the idea of like creating a vision board. And I saw so many people posting on like their TikTok and like other socials about how they've achieved so much from like their 2024 vision board. So I was like, you know what, I'm more of a visual person. I like the idea of like having a picture and being like, right, I want to try and achieve this goal or something similar to that. I think it's quite helpful to try and get that into like your head and things. So kind of for like 2025, I have tried to set some resolutions. So I used to be the worst person ever when it came to like setting New Year's resolutions, because usually I would set something that is like extremely unattainable. Like there's no way that I would ever achieve it because it was just like too big. It was something that would be too difficult. I would give up straight away because it was just too hard to achieve. So my aim with like my 2025 resolutions is to kind of just build on things that I've already got and then aim for goals that are a bit more achievable. So nothing that's too extreme or like too hard to reach for, because I feel like if you're setting like this massive goal, like I want to buy a house this year when I haven't even been saving for the deposit, that seems so unachievable, and I feel like that just adds more stress. Whereas if you kind of make the goal a little bit smaller, so trying to set like more achievable goals is what I had in mind when I was creating the 2025 like resolutions. So kind of like some of the resolutions that I've set, or kind of like goals that I've set, I'm not going to call it like a rebrand or anything like that, because I feel like each year you're just kind of developing a bit more about yourself. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to say, oh, I'm going to completely have a clean slate and be like, I want to be like this person or something like that. It's kind of like I just have some different goals in mind that I would love to achieve this year, on things that I like really want to build on, that I've been building on and things like that. Like one of them is kind of what you're watching now. It is to develop like my vlogging and kind of like my social media skills and things. I do struggle with trying to film in public, and not kind of like the panning filming, which I've mentioned like before. I really struggle with basically holding my camera up and talking to it when I'm in public. I don't know what it is. It's probably like being scared that someone's going to judge me or make a comment or something like that. I don't want to look like an idiot. It's more in my own head, because the amount of people that do it, obviously it's not scary, it's not harmful, it's not anything like that. It's just my own like little insecurity in my head. So one of the main things is that I really want to develop like my kind of like making the vlogs and videos in public, and just kind of like developing my YouTube channel like the best that I can. And that is one of my main goals that I really want to achieve in 2025, with hopes of possibly buying a vlog camera. But I don't want to commit to a vlog camera until I can commit to the channel, because I don't want to waste hundreds of pounds on a camera that I'm only going to pick up, use for like a few videos and then never use again. Like that's pointless, that's not worth it. And I have a good working phone, may as well just use that. But that would be kind of like one of the things I might treat myself to if towards the end of the year I've stuck to it and I've developed my channels and I've had fun with it. So I kind of just want to do it to have fun, because it's a nice little hobby to do. And I like to talk about all the things that are interesting to me, like my books, and trying to stay on top of like the goals and things like that. With kind of like vlogging being the main one, obviously I want to have like content to film, and I feel like being motivated to want to film something means I have to go out and do things. I have noticed I have become into like the habit of just staying at home and just watching TV, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like we all need days where we are just like stuck at home, we've put on a good film or something like that. But I really want to break it, because I used to be such an outdoorsy person. Like I went away to America for 3 months to do Camp America. I love being in the outdoors, I love doing activities and things like that. I feel like I've now just created my own habits since coming home of just staying in and not really going outdoors. So another resolution or kind of like goal, or like one of the things I really want to achieve with my vision board, is to get outside more. Like whether I'm just going for like a 5-10 minute walk, even traveling somewhere. Like I would love to go to the Lake District as like a nice little trip in the UK, and kind of just go on like all the walks, because they look so beautiful and it's something that I know I would genuinely enjoy. But it's trying to put it into motion. Do you know what I mean? I really struggle with trying to get out of kind of like this habit that I've got into, where you're just staying at home and doing this and this. Because when I actually do go out and do those things, I know I really enjoy it. So it's kind of just been like telling myself like, well, you can just go do it on your own. Like if you want to go on a really long walk, you want to go see this beach, or you want to go to this place because it's got a really nice sunset or something like that, like just go out and do it. So that is another one of my resolutions / goals / things I want to achieve this year, is to basically just get outside more. Because I notice it's so much better for my mental health when I've been outside. Whenever I've had like a really stressful day or something, I know if I go for a walk, I'm gonna chill the hell out. Like it just really works. And I feel like it's such a simple thing that is so overlooked, especially because we're glued to our phones, like we're glued to our laptops, we're glued to our TVs. I want to kind of switch off in like a different way. Like I want to just go outside, listen to music, and just watch a pretty sunset. I love a sunset. Another thing I kind of really want to work on this year is to like nurture my friendships and like relationships around me. So I really want to develop the friendships I've got, but also if you're a postgrad, you might understand this as well. I feel like when you come home from uni, your home friends are obviously very different to like your uni friends and things. So you probably had more uni friends than home friends, because some home friends gone off and they've lived somewhere else, or they're doing something, they're completely different with their lives. I want to nurture the home friends I've got, but I also really want to make some new connections, because I feel like being a postgrad after university, it is lonely. Like it's lonely being 26 in your hometown when most of your friends, like majority of your friends, live all across the country. And I mean, like one of my best friends, she lives in Ireland, like she lives in a completely different place to me. And I've got some more friends that live in Mexico. They're not easy to reach. You can't just jump on like a bus and just go visit them. They're not 10 minutes down the road. They are like a whole country away, a whole continent away. So I noticed I really want to try and like nurture those relationships a bit more, but also kind of develop new ones with people maybe that are obviously a bit closer and have my shared interests. Because it is lonely being a postgrad, and I'm sure if you're a postgrad you might experience the same feeling. It's very lonely when you come home and you don't have that big group of friends anymore, because everyone's obviously doing their own thing, and it's like you've come back into a world that's no longer your world. So you're trying to work around it and try and figure it out. So that's something I'm definitely working on in 2025, because I need more people to go to Swift Together nights with me where I live, because I have no one to go. My home friends, they don't really like Taylor Swift that much. And I'm sure they're watching, so hi guys. But I need some like people that I can like hang with and that enjoy Taylor Swift and things like that. And then obviously really develop the ones that I do have, like the friendships I do have down here. But yeah, postgrad, it's a lonely life when you move home. And then even more lonely when you go off to America traveling for 3 months, make loads of these amazing and beautiful friendships, and then you come back home to your own little hometown in England and all these friends live miles and miles away from you, and it's just a bit sad. So we're gonna work on that in 2025. We're working on it. Another thing that's kind of similar to me like developing like my social media and kind of like the vlogging and stuff is that I really want to continue with my writing. So I'm an aspiring writer. I would love to be an author one day. That has been my dream since I was a little girl. I've always wrote stories, like pages and pages long of stories, wrote loads of fan fiction on like fanfiction.net, Wattpad, you name it, I wrote it. Like I was obsessed with writing and reading when I was younger, and it was just something that I was always doing, and I would make sure I was updating, like it'd be like weekly, sometimes I'd be updating daily because I'd be writing that much that I just wanted to get posted and things like that. So kind of like one of my dreams is that I really would love to be a published author one day, and I'm kind of working on like a fantasy series. The idea it is going to be hopefully a trilogy if all goes well, but I really struggle with the motivation to write it because I have that little voice inside my head, that little imposter syndrome telling me you're not good enough, it's not going to get published, no one's going to like it, it's not going to get recognized, like Why are you wasting your time? And that voice just needs to shut up. Like, genuinely, it just needs to shut up, because I have a story to tell, so I need to tell a story. No matter if there's only one reader, myself, or there's hundreds of readers. I feel like I owe it to myself to write the story. So that's one thing I really want to work on this year, is kind of like my writing and developing that, and kind of like learning new skills and new techniques with my writing, because obviously I don't write the same way I did when I was like 10, 11 or 12. I'm a very different writer compared to then, and like how I write now and things. But I'm definitely keen to kind of take on some new skills with it and develop my writing and see where I can go with it, because you never know, I could be the next best-selling author. Stay tuned, we'll see. With kind of like writing my novel and kind of like my story and things. Novel, God, that sounds so big. It's a bit dramatic. But along with like writing my story, I also really want to keep going with like my blog and things like that, and just doing like a different kind of writing style, because obviously blogging and writing in that way is very different to writing a story. I'm not very keen on writing like contemporary stories. I really struggle for some reason to situate characters in a setting that I live, if that makes sense. I really struggle to situate it in a modern day setting where there's like modern uses, like you've got the iPhone and laptops and things like that. I find it so much easier to write fantasy, where it's like, right, there's no rules to this, let me make it up, let me make a whole magic system, let me make a whole world, let me make like a brand new species or something like that. I find that easier to do than writing contemporary. So well done to anyone who can write contemporary, because I find that hard. I don't know why I find it hard. First, because you've got more judgment against something that's set in real life compared to something that's fantasy, because who's going to tell you that your magic system is wrong? Like, it doesn't exist. That's my magic system. What do you mean it's wrong? But someone could tell you, you didn't write about that hometown correctly. Like, I lived there. That's not a right, like, assessment of the hometown. That doesn't exist. Don't know why I went on a tangent about writing contemporary and fantasy. I'm not sure if that even fits in with what I was saying. I think the original point I was saying is that basically I just want to develop my writing skills and like my writing techniques. So I really want to focus this year on like my blogs, as well as just obviously writing my story and things. And we will see how it goes. You never know. Zoella started with a blog, so do with that what you will. Now, to kind of help me and maybe make me a little bit more accountable for achieving these goals, is I have a planner. It's a 2025 planner. It's kind of big, but I bought this planner like a week or two ago in TK Maxx. And I just love it because, okay, I'm a Virgo. I was born in September, so obviously I'm obsessed with anything organised and like organisational, notepads, pens, the whole shebang. I am obsessed with it. Like, someone could buy me a notepad and new pens for my birthday, I'd be over the moon. I'd be like, that's the best present ever. And I won't lie, every year I fall victim to a brand new planner. Every year, without fail, I will have a new planner. I will give up on the new planner around June, but I will have a new planner. So basically, the idea is, this is going to help me. If you see my TikTok, this is meant to get my life together, apparently. We can only hope, can't we? This is going to help me, and I'll show you a bit more like in detail what kind of details with it. So it kind of just has loads of different segments to it, which I really love. So it's obviously got like the big overview for the month, and it has like a week by week kind of calendar, which is really handy for like little things like appointments and things like that. And also it has like a budget planner. It's handy, it's grown up, it's mature. I hope I use it because I definitely need it. But one of my favourite things is this. It has like a goal tracker. That's insane. I'm sure there's probably other planners, but I don't think I've ever seen a planner, like at least in person, like whenever I've been looking for them. They're probably online. I don't think I've ever seen one that has like a goal tracker. And I really like that because you can write down your goals for the month and you just tick it off as you go by, like through each day, and you're like, okay, I've done that, I've done that, I've done that. And I just think that's great. So I'm really excited to use it. I can't wait. Now you would think, since I really want to be organised, I would have already cracked this open. But I've been ill. So this has yet to be used. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to wait to fill that in when I'm feeling better. And I feel like I'll probably fill it in like today or this weekend. So I can start getting more use out of it. But I was waiting until I felt better to do it because I didn't want to overwhelm myself and try and fill in all the stuff that I need to achieve. And then the 1st of January came and I was like, I'm so ill. I don't want to do any of this. It's a big no straight away. I don't think that sets the year up very well, so I thought ahead. That's good. I'll show you a bit more of a close-up version of like the planner and kind of like what it has inside of it, because I thought it was a really good deal and like a really good planner to grab, and I'm very excited to use it. So I will insert those clips now. So obviously, as you can see, we've kind of got this lovely first page and things like that. I really love the color of this. They had like loads of different colors. I think there was like a pinky one, another blue one, I think was more of a light blue and things like that, and possibly a grey one, but I can't really remember. But yeah, this planner is great. I got it from TK Maxx. I don't know if they'll still be selling it because it is already into January, but you can probably go check it out if you really like it. And I'm sure there'll be one hidden somewhere, because I found one and then there was like 5 or 6 others that were like hidden behind other planners and things like that. So definitely check out your local TK Maxx if you really like this planner. Okay, so basically like the first thing, as soon as you like open it, you've got this. It's just like a nice little pocket. This can be kind of handy for like popping like key things that you need, like if there's any letters, like appointments, anything like that. It's quite handy just to pop it in like a little pocket there and things like that. And then on this page, which is quite possibly my favorite thing about this planner, is that it's got a goal tracker and it like lays out all the different months. So obviously it gives January through to June, and then on the next page it's July through to December. But just to show you a bit more closely, so obviously it's got like the month and things like that, and then you can like write down here like what is going to be like your goal for that month and things, and then as you kind of like scan across it, you can either tick it off or fill in the box for the relative day that you kind of completed that goal and things like that. I think this is really great for people who are more visual when it comes to like tracking their goals and things like that. I know I'm definitely a more visual person. If I've got an idea in my head or I want to achieve something, I need to have it written down somewhere so I can see like the visible like progress I'm making with something. And then this is just the page where it's got like July through to December down on it as well. And on the next page, we have a lovely budget tracker as well. So if you are trying to track like your income and kind of like outgoings and what's coming in and things like that, this is amazing for it. So it kind of details all the different months that we've got here. So January through to December, and then also kind of like what the income is, what's your budget, what are your expenses, and do you put any in savings, and then what is your grand total for that month. I think this is brilliant for people that are going to be more conscious about their finances going into 2025. Even if you're just trying to budget like what you do have outgoing, because I know sometimes I forget what's going to go out of my bank account, like whether it's like my car, my phone and things like that. So I think this can be really helpful with keeping on track of all my finances for 2025. And then we come on to the very first January spread. So for like the complete overview of the whole month, I love things like this because I need to be able to see key dates. Like I need to be able to open it and be like, okay, I've got this on this date, I have a birthday on this date, I need to do this on this date, I have an appointment, etc. Like I think this is great, and I love the fact that it's just spread over 2 pages, so it's not cramped all onto like 1 page or anything like that. It kind of follows like the week going across, and I think this is just really handy. And then on the next page, when you flip it over, you do kind of have like the weekly spread, so you can kind of see that it starts from like the 30th of the Monday and it ends on the 5th of the Sunday, so it's not just jumping straight to the 1st on like the Wednesday, it's kind of just going across, so you have the whole week and things like that, just to help you plan it all out. What else I do really like about it is that you have this really cool like to-do list down here that you can like tick off things. So if there are things that you really need to do that week or like accomplish, you can just drop them down there and then just tick it off once it's done. So I think that's really handy to have those reminders. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my first video of 2025 and how I'm going to try and be a bit more organised with a lovely planner, and also kind of like some of my goals and kind of like aspirations and things I really want to achieve this year as well. And hopefully it inspires you as well. If you've not really thought about it, you've always got time. I always think you don't have to use the start of the new year to change your life. Like, don't do it. It's not worth it. I don't believe in everyone should be just changing their life since 1st January hits. Like, you can use it as kind of like a little post and you're like, okay, wait, I didn't like what this happened this year, but I really liked how this happened or something like that. And then kind of just take it into new year. But I don't agree with people just going like hitting the ground running basically and being like, right, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and then you crash out by like the 7th of January. It's not worth it. I think it's better to have like smaller goals that are more achievable. But yeah, let me know if you have any of your own like 2025 resolutions or any goals or anything you want to achieve this year. I'd love to hear them, so if you can pop them down in the comments, that'd be great. But on that note, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you next week for another video, and that one is going to be book related. So it's going to be about the books I've read in 2024 and also books I really want to try and get through for 2025, because there is a lot. My aim is to finish my TBR, my physical TBR, which is massive. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!